Chapter 13. Sorry about that. Handling errors. So we made a lot of server actions last video, but we didn't handle any errors. So let's see how we can do this. So we will first start with the classic way of adding try catches to our server actions. Okay, they want us to try it ourselves before seeing the solution. I'll do the first one, and then I will look at the answers for the rest. So the question is, where do we want to put our try catch? So I know that parse throws an error, so I'm going to put it around everything. So try all of this. And then catch error console.log error. So I know that redirect has issues inside the catch block, but let's see what Next.js tools tell us anyways. So reveal the solution. They put the try. Okay, they put the try around the SQL. I don't entirely agree, but let's do what they have. So instead of console.log error, they're going to return a message. Return message. Database error, failed to create invoice. Okay, and again, they left us outside the revalidate path and redirect outside of the try catch. Cool. Let's go to invoices. I mean update. And I'm gonna assume they also just put a try in front of SQL. So right here, try. Catch error. Message. Database error, failed to update invoice. And again, try catch error. Can we guess the error messages? Could it possibly be failed to delete invoice? Yes, sir. Okay. There you go. So that's our try catch, which it will protect us from the SQL failing. So it's better than nothing. And so here they want us to manually throw an error. So throw new error. Failed to delete invoice. Invoice. Cool. And let's try it out. Here we go. Let's delete Stephen Tay. Delete. And we have a runtime error. Throw new error, failed to delete invoice. Because, we manually triggered that. So when you delete an invoice, you just see an error on localhost. Seeing these errors are helpful when developing, as you can catch any potential problems early. However, you also want to show errors to the user to avoid abrupt failure and allow your application to keep running. Okay, so this is where another special file comes in, error.tsx. Just like the page.tsx, just like the loading.tsx, just like the layout.tsx. Error.tsx is a special file to define a UI boundary for a route segment. It serves as a catch-all for unexpected errors and allows you to display a fallback UI to your users. So inside our dashboard invoices folder, so again, we have a lot of nested folders here. Let me see if I can make it a little minimized. We'll create a new file in the invoices file folder, right next to the page, right next to the layout, called error.tsx. And error.tsx has to be a use client component, always. And then here's a standard layout. We can use effect because it's a client component. So export default function error, we can error and a reset. Use effect, it'll just log the error, and it's watching the error. Main tag, h1, something went wrong, button. It's just a simple button, try again. It'll attempt to recover by re-rendering the invoices route. Let's test it out. So we should see this error. Because now we have a error boundary in our invoices folder. Any errors that happen in our invoices folder should be caught by this error.tsx file, and we should render this page. So Stephen Tay, delete. Oh, something went wrong. So we still get this. We still get the runtime error for our development. But now we have this nice, like the user sees something that's a little bit more friendlier to work with than nothing. And our app is still running perfectly fine. Try again, we'll bring back to invoices. Looks like it's some kind of reset method that gets passed in automatically. Does it talk about that? Right here. This is the function to reset the error boundary. When executed, the function will try to re-render the route segment. This object is an instance of JavaScript's native error object. Okay, that's good. Okay, so we're logging the error, but we're not displaying it anywhere. But that, because the client component, we should have seen the error here. There we go. Error, failed to delete invoice. Okay, and let me refresh the page. Okay, so handling 404 errors with not found. So another way we can handle errors is using the not found function. And so, for example, if we visit this, I want to do, let's do this. Obviously, if I press edit here, we will go to your edit page. But let's put it UID doesn't exist. So maybe like, I don't know, 31. Okay, so now we do an error, right? Because we could not, let's go to the ID edit page. We could not fetch invoice by ID because the ID doesn't exist. And let's just see what the error is here. Right, we don't have an invoice.id because the invoice is undefined. Okay, you'll immediately see an error.css kick in because the child wrote of invoices. Right, so we automatically get this page again because we made a UI boundary for our invoices endpoint. However, if we want to be more specific, you can show a 404 error. You can confirm the resource hasn't been found by going to fetch invoices by ID function, d.ts, and logging your return invoice. Sure, we can do that for fun. So right here, we will just log invoice. And let's see where our server shows. Clear, save. Here, you have an empty array. Okay, so now that you know your invoice doesn't exist in your database, let's use not found to handle it. Okay, and we are going to import the function. Let's remove this log. Let's close these buttons, close these actions, close this error. So right here, we are importing a nice handy utility function by Next.js called not found. And then we're just saying here, if there is no invoice, I want you to throw a not found. I don't want you to render anything. So let's see that in action. There we go. So not found throws us automatically here. And okay, cool. So it'll throw an error if the specific invoice is not found to show an error UI. So now let's make it more nicer for the user. Sure, something went wrong, but what went wrong? Because we know exactly what went wrong and invoice was not found, let's try to make it more visible for the user. So another special page in Next.js is called a not found page. So we're making this directly in the edit page, and we're calling it, we have to call it not-found.tsx. And we're going to go ahead and create this component, just a main tag with a frowny face icon, h2404 not found, paragraph, could not find the request invoice, and just a link tag saying, hey, go back to the invoices dashboard. So we're only going to get this not found page here when we throw the not found function for no invoices. Any other error is going to go to that something went wrong page. So let's go ahead and show this again. Let's edit Stephen Tay, but we know he exists. So let's go to a random UUID 31 404. Not found, could not find the requested invoice. So a much better message for the user. And we have it scoped to the edit endpoint. So you could have these anywhere. If you have another resource called, like, I don't know, blog post, you could throw a not found there. And then you could say like 404, blog post not found. And it could be a separate fallback UI than this one. Okay. So so refresh the page, we'll see this UI. We got this already. Quiz time. Which file in Next.js serves as a catch-all for unexpected errors? The error.tsx. Cool. Reading chapter 13 completed. Let's move on.